You've now gained the support of something. That is divine grace. There, suffering becomes your gift. So the question is, how can suffering and pain in life be a gift? How can we turn hardship, struggles in life into a positive? Let's take this line. Kitya duk puk sad mar. So many who are inflicted with suffering, hunger and constant beatings, e bhi daat teri datar. These even are your gifts. Let's look at what's happening in the world today. So many humanitarian crises. Who amongst those victims would say that they're being blessed? So many people being beaten, being tortured, starving, their families being killed. Who amongst them will say that this is a gift? How can suffering be a blessing? So Guruji here is describing a situation of severe struggle in life, pain in life, desperation. You know that feeling when you've lost all hope? Of absolute just being completely lost, run out of options, nowhere else to turn to. When all options have been explored, when you've gone down every avenue in life, when all the roads have been travelled, when you've approached everyone that you can approach, and when everyone who should have helped you, who could have helped you, has turned their backs on you, then who do you turn to? Where do you go? At this point, even the most staunch atheist might turn around and just put his hands up to the universe and say, if there is a God, now I need you. They may look to the universe for some sort of support or guidance, whether they call that life, universe, God, Mother Nature. At some point, a person may just turn around and say, I don't know what to do anymore in life. Have you ever been so vulnerable in your life, so lost, that all you had left was to turn to prayer? Where you've had just nothing, that's all you ever known, is that the final option left is to just pray. At that moment, when all you have left is prayer in your life, your heart will reach out for something that it knows your brain has neglected for too long. At this point, there are no thoughts, no theories, no opinions about whether there is a God or there isn't. All your clever ideas have left you. No mind, just pure heart, raw emotion. If you fall at the feet of the universe at that point and you just say, I need you, I need help, your brain at that point knows nowhere else to go. It knows no one else to turn to. And at that point, when every last avenue has been explored, your brain goes into a mode where all it says is, I need you, I need you, I need you. That very deep, desperate calling out for something. In that moment, you have known the struggle of the saints and the greatest meditators in the world. In that moment, you have known what all the bhagats have gone through. You have known bhakti, their very deep longing, their desperate sense of separation. At that moment, suffering has led you to a point where you begin to feel that sense of separation and longing. When you've gone so deep into prayer, when you've gone so deep into that desperate state of longing, when you find that connection with just something, that holding on to something that your heart has been crying out for, then you will realize that no other worldly possession, no other material distraction, no other physical relationship can fill that void which at that moment your heart is crying out for. It's as though a baby has come back into his mother's arms. As though the moment when the baby finally gets back to his mother and drinks his mother's milk, at that point you have gone home. There you can finally find your rest, your place of peace. So at that point, no opinions matter. No thoughts, whether of your own or of anyone else's, makes a difference. Now is just pure moment of heart. You've gone home. You finally realize your place within the universe. You finally understand how little control you actually have. You've walked around your whole life thinking that you have an element of control, thinking that you can direct where life is going to take you. But at that moment, you know your place in the universe, in the vastness of it all. And you know your helplessness. You know how powerless you really are. You know your insignificance. And finally, you've gained an understanding that there is something else that's in control here that I just have to reach out to. That one controller, that one that gives, the one that is all powerful, the life giver. Now you know. You may not be able to feel it, but you know your insignificance, and by your insignificance you know that you have no control. Something else is in control. And at that point, where you used to focus on your pain and your suffering and your loss, at that point there can be a switch where you no longer focus on your own personal loss. When you reach so deep into your own insignificance and you realize the greatness of this vast universe, you will realize that your insignificance is what has clouded you all along. Where you focused on your loss, now you focus on what you've gained. From loss and personal struggle, it moves into gain. You've now gained the support of the universe. You've now gained an understanding that there is something else out there, something so valuable. And if this is where you're struggling and your suffering takes you, that is divine grace. If from depression and suffering and absolute helplessness, you find a moment where you no longer are in control and you surrender your control to something greater than you, far beyond your comprehension, your suffering at that point has turned. You've now gained the support of something. That is divine grace. There, suffering becomes your gift. Pain has become your medicine. Dukh has become your daru. And because from your own suffering, you have finally known the divine. Hi, thanks for watching, and I hope you're enjoying our videos. Nanak Naam is all about simplifying the life-changing wisdom of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and making it freely available to everyone through online videos, podcasts, booklets and courses. And we need your donations to spread these teachings even further. Please set up a regular monthly donation by visiting nanaknaam.org/donate. With your support, we're taking Gurmat global.